One of the classic gardening activities of the fall is planting bulbs. And for a one-time investment in time and energy, you get season after season of enjoyment. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the basics of not only planting, but protecting those precious bulbs for the best results next season and beyond. As you prepare to plant your bulbs, look for sites that offer at least 6 hours of sun for the best displays. But don't rule out locations under deciduous trees, especially for early season bulbs such as crocus, snowdrops, and some daffodil varieties. These work because their foliage and flowers have access to sunlight before the taller trees leaf out. One of the most important considerations when planting bulbs is that the soil is fertile, loose, and drains well, because bulbs will not tolerate poor soil. And then as for spacing your bulbs, the larger bulbs need about 4 to 6 inches of spacing between them, such as daffodils and tulips. And smaller bulbs, such as crocus and snowdrops, well, they can get by with just 1 to 2 inches of spacing. As you plant your bulbs, follow the instructions that come with the package. But in the absence of that, a good rule of thumb is to dig a hole that is about 3 times deeper than the bulb is tall. There are lots of tool options for making this part of the job easier, from classic bulb tools to drill augers like this one. This option is my favorite and makes the planting fun. Just be sure that the batteries are fully charged before you begin. As you place your bulbs into the planting hole, hopefully your soil is rich and loamy and you've been working it to improve it over time with compost or mulch like I have. So that should do it. But if you want to add a bit of fertilizer into the planting hole, an organic fertilizer such as bone meal works well for that. Once the bulbs are in, simply backfill the hole and that's it. Now, one more thing before you call it a day. Keep in mind that foraging critters love newly planted bulbs, and you don't want to come out the next day and find out that all your bulbs have been dug up. So I suggest that you put some sort of barrier on top of those bulbs, and this is hardware cloth. It's what I like to use, and I love 1-inch square spacing for that. It's close enough so that the squirrels aren't going to be able to get their little paws in there and dig up those bulbs, but it's not too close. So if you forget and leave this down and the newly emerging foliage is coming up, it can still get through. But do leave it down for about 3 months or until you see that foliage emerging. And if you want to anchor it down with some stones or bricks or something, that doesn't hurt. But I don't feel the need to do that, so I'm just going to lay it in place and cover it up. Now, whether you decide to put this barrier on top or not, it's always a good idea to add 2 inches of mulch over the newly planted area, and that's good for a few reasons. Yes, it will conceal that barrier, but more importantly, it's going to keep the soil warm and moist for a quicker start underground, and that's always a good thing. Now, as a final step, go ahead and water it all in, give it a good drink of water, and your work is done for now. But one thing to keep in mind next spring as you enjoy all those beautiful flowers, well, after that, the foliage is going to start to die back and it's not going to look so great, and you're going to be tempted to clean it up and cut it back. But I have good news for you. Don't bother with that, because really that is the following year's energy source for those flowers, and you certainly want to enjoy those too. So don't bother cutting it back. Just relax and enjoy the ride.